Hello and good afternoon, and thanks for joining our first Learn and Share for Planning Tools for 2022. My name is Lily Naja Mensah. I'm the founder of Links Media, a brand strategist by day. So this today I'm doing the brand strategist thing, personal branding, and in the evenings I talk to other people. So today I am talking to those who want to learn, those who want to share their tips on how to plan for 2022. What are your tools? What are some of your challenges that you have that you think planning for the new year? I know we've only just started November and the new year is so far away. But in terms of planning, it really isn't, because if you think about it, today is the 11th of November. And in a couple of weeks' time, we will get to Thanksgiving. And from then on, things really start slowing down. The party season comes in. We get into Christmas, we get into Hanukkah, we get into all of those celebrations. And then before you know it, we have a J1. When J1 hits, what do? We start to panic. And I think when we think of ourselves and the planning that we do, I've also been guilty of that, to sort of start thinking about New Year's resolutions, sort of like midnight, the night before 31st of January. And then we jump onto that roller coaster and then chasing big dreams that we haven't really planned for. Hello, good afternoon, Miss Tisha. How are you? How are you doing? Where are you calling from? Where are you saying hello from? So that we know where you are and how we can help you. But thanks for joining. In terms of planning, if we plan with the tools that we have, we're more likely to succeed this time next year. But if we wait for January 1st and we start to say, oh, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to look for a new job, I'm going to look for new clients, and then we start to scramble around. My advice and the things that have helped me on those occasions that I've planned properly are to put pen to paper. Putting pen to paper allows you that space, that thinking space, and that thing that you can edit whatever you've written long before J1 comes. So putting pen to paper, and I've spoken to a couple of people. I've also advised clients on how best they can actually bring their dreams to life and what they can do to make sure that they're winning on their own terms. And I think that's what the planning season for 2022 should look like. Planning should have started already, of course, but hey, it's better to start. Whatever you start is fine. It doesn't matter if you start the week after Christmas, or you go straight into Kwanzaa season. It doesn't matter as long as you start somewhere. I tend to do mine slightly differently, which is to do it around my birthday, which is near the Valentine's Day. By that time, I'm getting to a number that I can say, okay, I'm going to be this number, and therefore these are the things that I need to do by the time I get to that number. I'm not going to tell you what that number is. You might fall off your chair. But yes, a big one is coming for me. So I'm planning towards that. And I started that plan about 5 months ago, maybe more, maybe less, about 4 months ago, to start planning towards that big number, because I know what I want to see when I hit that big number. So now, which means starting, I'll put some notes here, starting with the end in mind. What do you want to do come January 1? What do you want to do between January 1st, or I call it J1, in the first quarter of J1, what is it that you want to achieve? It's the what or the many whats that you want to achieve. If you put it on paper and you write it down, that's half that's half the job done. Put it on paper. What I tend and I would recommend that some people call it a vision board. I just call it collage. I go through maybe magazines I've read and an article hits me. So I cut around that article and I put it down. And then I look at another article that I'm reading. I still read magazines, by the way. I still magazines from professional bodies or just Hello Magazine or Vogue or magazines that comes from the Chartered Management Institute or Psychology Today. All those magazines all have things that resonate with me. So I just cut out the article or the picture or the saying that resonates with me. And then I build through that slowly. So one is to get your collage and then you create your vision board, if that's what I call it, collage. I'm old school, forgive me. Um, so create that collage or vision board or whatever you want, just to give you ideas as you go through. But keeping starting with the end in mind is the most important thing. Do you want a new job next year? Do you want to change your client base next year? Do you want to improve your fee base next year? Do you want a different kind of clientele next year? If so, who are they? Where can you find them? And start putting those plans into place. So that would be, what do you want to do by when? And I know we're all very intelligent people here. You've all heard it. SMART goals. What are your goals? Make them smart. SMART goals will take you far. And I don't want to be the one that will be, I'm sure I'll do a proper goal setting session at some point with various people. But SMART is I was asked that this morning. I also went to speak to, I went to see my personal trainer this morning and she put me through my paces. And I said to her, actually, what for those of us who struggle with our personal fitness, what would be your advice to us in terms of planning for 2022? And she said, and her name is Stephanie, she's very good. And she gave me some notes here. She said actually we shouldn't be afraid of derailment, because what happens is that when we get to I'm reading what she said, prepping for 2022 and her summary. When we fall off the wagon, or when we you know we don't go to the gym on the days that we say we're going to go to the gym, or we don't do the things that we're going to do for our personal fitness, we shouldn't, or something happens, family, or emergencies happen and we're not able to do those things. We should prepare for those things. That if, for instance, you go to a restaurant, because everybody starts being vegan in January these days. Not that I can ever do that, but if January is the time that you decide to go to to become vegan, what do you do when someone invites you to a steakhouse? That will be something that will derail you, right? So it's about remembering that things will happen, and you must have things that will help you get back on that wagon. So remember that. But before I do that, let's see what she said. Prepping for 2022 summary, as per my personal trainer Stephanie. She goes, remember, no matter how good your plan is, something will come up and derail it. So allowing that and acknowledging it, and then try your best to go back on track without writing off the rest of the week for a start again next Monday or next month. and not to beat yourself up about the blips if it happens. I think I like that idea because I've been known to just put my hands up and go, oh, I failed, and therefore I'm not able to carry on anymore. Which many of us just remember that those things will happen, and we must remember why we started in the first place. We've got a question here from Miss Letitia. She says, "How do you plan for 2022 if you couldn't achieve your goals for 2021?" Great. That's a very, very interesting question to add to the discussion. Before you start 2022, look at what you've managed to achieve in 2021. That's first off. If you got very far, well done. I applaud you, Miss Letitia. If you got very far, well done. Even if you didn't get very far and you had it on paper, that it's also an achievement in itself because we all put our ideas in our heads and we never put it on paper. But if you have it on paper, you can tick it off and say, I did this and I did that. I've got a little bit of that to do. And then you can carry it forward. So you're not starting from scratch when you get to 2022. You start from what is left of 2021, and then you can add to it. Therefore, 2021 is not a complete write-off because you've only managed to achieve one thing or two things. So if if you've written down your goals for 2021 and you've achieved all of them, bravo, bravo. If you haven't, take whatever is left into 2022 before you start writing for the whole of new stuff for 2022. That is assuming that is assuming that you that is assuming that those things you wanted to do in 2021 are still relevant for you in 2022. And I hope that makes sense. If there might be some things that you wanted to do in 2021 that will not serve you in 2022, there's no need, therefore, to carry that through. So I think that's answered that question. Let's go back. So we've got our collage. We started with the end in mind, and back to the personal health thing. How about, I would recommend, if you want to lose weight, if you want to get fitter for 2022, get some nice gym gear. Get your clothes, because if you've spent, you're welcome, Miss Letitia. I hope that answered your question. Planning for 2022 with some of your 2021 goals. Great. If you want to lose weight and you want to get your personal brand sparkling from a health perspective, get some new gym gear in. That's if your budget will allow you to. Because once you've bought the clothes, you will use them for the new gym membership that you only use in the first month of January. Please, people, don't go and hog the gym in January for the real gym people who are still going in November. But if you've bought some nice gym gear, nice walking clothes, nice trainers and stuff like that, you will feel that you have to wear them, right? You've paid money for it. The gym membership is still there. Get some nice gear in and use those to encourage you to go to the gym or do your running or do your walking, whatever it is, or your Pilates or your yoga, whatever it is that you do. If you've got nice outfits to go with it, you're more likely to go. Now, speak in terms of goals. Another tool, another recommendation will be speak it into existence. And in so doing, you can also find yourself an accountability partner, or what I call in the quirky tower is get yourself a girlfriend. Somebody, say if you're gonna get yourself a new job, find somebody that can help you with your CV, somebody that can call you up and say, How is the job hunting going? Somebody that will be able to, do interview prep with you. Somebody who will actually help you achieve that goal rather than somebody who will saying, yeah, 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 and waving at you from the background. I mean, that is good. You're as a cheerleader, everybody needs their cheerleaders. That's fine. We also need someone who can practically support you in achieving your goals. So cheerleaders are good, girlfriends are even better. So get yourself your cheerleaders, yay, but girlfriends are even better. We've got another question here. Let's see. So, how do you deal with external forces that sway you away from your plans? Oh dear. Just put your blinkers on. Again, it's those things that will derail you, those external forces that sort of stop you in your tracks. It will happen. Be kind to yourself, take a breather. And if it's just somebody that, you're supposed to be um, going towards a certain career path, and the person is, and then big, maybe even in a job, and then you don't like the job and you want to leave, and they throw a lot of money at you. That could be, I mean, it's a good thing to have, but deep down that that is not, even the company's values do not sit well with you. So you have to decide, do I take this huge amount of money, or do I stay true to myself and move on to an organization who will treat me well, give me, I mean, maybe, allow me to work from home, the hybrid working, to allow in an organization that will allow me to grow rather than just chase the money. If your values have changed from money driven to quality of life driven, then that's it, the curveball that, it's a good place to be in, but you have to decide whether that sits with you or not. And it's an external force. Money has great pull, but for the kind of year that we've all had, I'm sure we can all agree is that money is great, but peace of mind and the sense of well-being far outweighs how much money somebody will throw at you. And if those things mean that you're not able to sleep at night, just because you're being paid an awful lot and you're not getting the quality of life, it's a question that you have to ask yourself: is this for me? Is this external force something that I should be driven by, or should I look at where my career path, where my future well-being, my future career is going to be? So that can be an external force. Or you may have had a plan to get promoted, and in the course of all of that, and if the company is not very family friendly, and you find yourself as a married woman, find yourself being asked to do other things, then you might say no, or you might even get pregnant. And that can change some of the dynamics in terms of how far and how fast you grow within the organization, if the organization is not very family friendly. So that, those are some of the curveballs that can be thrown at you. Now, yes, speak it into existence. What else do we have here? There's one other thing, a couple of other things that I wanted to add, and this could be quite a short one as well, because it's our first learn and share, and I'd be more than delighted for other people to tell me what tools they use in order to plan for the next year. The people have journals, people have all sorts of things. I would say, and I'm bringing it back to where we were just before we get into the holidays. Plan to win for 2022. So, food choices, for instance, could be one. How you network within whether it's online networking or physical network, because people are networking in the physically now. So there's that kind of physical thing, and how much networking are you prepared to do in order to move your career or your business to the next level. So looking at those things and those choices that you have to make, because it's very easy to sit in your, in your comfort zone and just hope and pray that your life will improve by just, hoping and praying. Prayer is good, hope is so positive, but we need to put action behind those hopes and prayers. Now, taking another thing that I'd add to this is that looking at the small steps that we make every day. Because in order to achieve any goal, we must also know that taking steps are good, taking bite-sized chunks, because it's not about perfection, it's about progress. So I could decide, or you could decide, that next summer you want to take a 3-month sabbatical from work. What are you going to do to make that happen? Who are you going to speak to? Is that allowed in your organization? So it's about having those conversations and looking at the steps that need to be done before you can take that sabbatical. So who to speak to would be one thing. That person will give you what the requirements are in order to take that sabbatical. And also, once you've been able to achieve that, look at how, paint a picture in your mind of what success will look like for you in terms of any of your goals. So if that sabbatical means going to a remote island and sitting on the beach and doing nothing and gazing into, or just breathing fresh air, is that what success would look like for you? Dream it, and dream it in technicolor, so that once you get there, yes, this is what I've dreamed about, and I have arrived. So start dreaming with the end in mind. What will it look like? And once I get there, what am I going to do to pat myself on the back that what I plan to do, I have also achieved it? Where I think that that's a lot of tools so far. That I'm sure there are a lot of tools out there in on the internet, but these are practical tools that, from our perspective, from the Links Media perspective, we talk about that all the time. Goal friends, what have you? Goal friends, accountability, doing your personal branding plan. What are you going to do? So we talk about that. So these are things that we talk about and we're beginning more and more to be working with our clients in terms of their planning, because for most people, J1 is when the world, you can reset and recalibrate your life, whether it happens in practice or not. But that's the psychological thing that we've all been um, told, that come 1st of January, the world changes, everything, we have to start everything and do everything. Of course, that doesn't happen. But we do a lot around January. And in order not to be caught up in the noise of the moment, planning starting now is going to allow us to have our blinkers on and not look, because this person will say that they they're going to do this by the end of the year, or these their New Year's resolutions and what have you. If you've planned already, you will not you will not be sidetracked by what other people are saying, or people will be selling courses and stuff like that to you when it's not part of your original plan. Let Miss Lily take a sip of water. So Miss Letitia said about planning. I usually write my plans in a pocket book. Great. If you don't always carry your pocketbook, but let me give you a tip here. Once you've written it, take a picture of it and put it on your phone, because you look at your phone every day, right? So I would do that, at least for the first. Put it on your phone as your screensaver. How about that? Will that work? Give me a thumbs up if that will work for you. But generally, those are the things that we tend to. I feel that whatever it's about me talking to people and saying, why haven't you've got your Facebook, you've got your Instagram and everything on your phone. Why isn't your LinkedIn on your phone? Because that's where you're going to get better jobs, better opportunities. If that's where your professional life should lives. So that's it. I've rattled on. I've rattled on quite a bit. Oh, right. Okay, that sounds great. I'll try it. Whee! Put it on your phone for the first month. Put your plans on and put it on your phone. So, just to wrap up on our learn and share planning for 2022, start with the end in mind. Buy clothes for your new life, whether it's the gym. Get yourself a girlfriend and speak it into existence. I think there was a bit of research a while back that those who wrote down their plans managed to about half 50% there managed to get quite a lot done. And prepare yourself for derailment. Make choices that mean something to you in 2022. If you plan for 2021 and you didn't quite work out, maybe there's a reason why it didn't work out. Take small steps and be kind to yourself. Okay, so that's me. First, the maiden journey of our learn and share. We've learned a lot, and I've seen Miss Letitia talk about how she plans and some of the external forces that might derail her. But if you have any more tips on how to plan for 2022, by all means, let us know. And if we can help you with some of your plans or even realize some of those aspirations, by all means, we're here to help you, or I'm here to help you. So ping me, talk to me, talk to any of my team. We're here to help. And I'm more than happy to walk you through your own plans and how you can bring it into existence and actually make it happen. Because after all, I'm a coach. My work is to help you. You know what you need. My job is actually help you realize it. So happy to help, and I'll be more than I'll be here for. I'll be well. This is my first one. I'm looking forward to what will happen. The topic that we will choose for Christmas. I think for December. I think I have an idea, but I'm not quite sure yet. Normally, it's about we decide on it maybe a couple of weeks before we put it in there to see things that are topical, and then we use those we use those and we plan for those. So hopefully, I'll see you next month. But whatever you do, look after yourself. My name is Lilina Demensa, founder of Links Media, and I'm here to help you work your quirks. Take care now. Bye.